Honorable Eric Evelyn, Minister of Culture, et al., Mr. Huey Sargent, Permanent Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. John Hanley, Permanent Secretary of Tourism, Mr. Devon Liebert, CEO of Tourism, Nevis Tourism Authority, Mr. Antonio Abonati Liebert, Chairman of Culturama Secretariat, Culturama 50 Committee, Reigning Queen Nikesha Henry, King Andrew Hollywood Nisbet, Lead Sponsor Bonnie, various management and staff of the Nevis Tourism Authority, Ministry of Tourism and Culturama Secretariat, various media houses, special guests, well-wishers, and Culturama revelers and seekers. Good morning. I am Fayon Jones, the Marketing Chair for Culturama 50 and Director of Sales and Marketing at the Nevis Tourism Authority and your host for today's proceedings. I will be brief, but let me start by saying that we have some very exciting news for you today, so hold on to your seats. Nevis will officially celebrate 50 years of Culturama as we reach our Golden Jubilee. Round of applause. It is because of you, our people, who came together 50 years ago and have stayed together for 50 years. This is why we are here today. Celebrating culture, embracing history is Culturama 50. The anticipation for Culturama 50 is building. I will not keep you any longer. Please help me welcome to the podium the Honorable Eric Evelyn, Minister of Culture.
Let me greet all who are here today. It's a very important day for us as we build the momentum to Culturama 50, what promises to be an exciting time here on the island of Nevis. And I am very pleased as the Minister of Culture to be here today to make several announcements. I know the protocol has been established. Let me adopt that protocol and welcome all of you. I also want to especially welcome the First Lady, Mrs. Brantley. And so we are here today because we are all excited about what is to come for the Caribbean's greatest summer lime, C50. And of course, it's a huge milestone. And we here on the island of Nevis, I think we have a reputation of always ensuring that things are done well and ensuring that we build towards what is expected to be a very memorable experience. And so, as we get ready for the Caribbean's greatest summer lime, it is my privilege and pleasure to make a few announcements this morning, what I would term big announcements. And as we have the run-up to Culturama 50, we will have several other press conferences because we are anticipating a lot more big announcements. But we are starting early. We are only in January. And because we want to ensure that this will be an experience like no one has ever seen before coming to our shores, we want to ensure that we start early. And so I'll be making 5 major announcements this morning. And one of them has to do with the Jingle competition. So I will start with the Jingle competition. Nevisian songwriters, producers, and artists are invited to participate in the Culturama 50 Jingle competition, from now on referred to as the C50 Jingle competition. This competition is open to individuals with a passion for music and creativity, wishing to showcase their talents and contribute to promoting the Nevis Culturama Festival's 50th anniversary on a local, regional, and international scene. By participating in the C50 Jingle competition, music producers and artists have the opportunity to craft a promotional masterpiece that will captivate audiences and serve as a powerful marketing tool for the upcoming 50th anniversary of Nevis's Culturama Festival and homecoming celebrations from July the 25th to August the 6th, 2024. This competition will open doors to recognition in the music industry, providing regional and international exposure, enticing prizes, and the creation of lifelong musical memories. Eligibility requirements. All entrants must be Nevisians or individuals residing in Nevis for a minimum of 12 months, leading up to the entry deadline of the competition. Entrants must be 18 years of age or older to be eligible. Entrants may be soloists or duets. For duets, the names of each singer must be given. Producers must be Nevisians residing on Nevis or part of the diaspora. Non-resident Nevisian producers must provide verifiable proof of their nationality upon song submission. Proof can include a copy of a birth certificate, passport, or national ID card. Non-nationals living in Nevis for at least 12 months before the competition's entry deadline are also eligible. However, proof of residence is required. Rules. Entries must revolve around the slogan for Culturama 50, which is celebrating culture, embracing history. It's Culturama 50. And the phrase Culturama 50 can also be used. The jingle can be of any genre that should incorporate Caribbean elements such as the fife, steel pan, banjo, African drums, kettle drum, etc. into the music. All entries, including lyrics, melody, and arrangement, must be original and unpublished compositions, ensuring no infringement upon copyrights or third-party rights. The jingle should not have been entered in any previously organized competition of any genre, locally, regionally, or internationally. By entering the C50 Jingle competition, the entrant confirms the authenticity of the submission and agrees to indemnify and hold the Nevis Culturama Committee harmless against any claims that contradict this requirement. Entries with lyrics that are deemed indecent, derogatory, discriminatory, or defamatory will be rejected. The jingle must be between 30 and 60 seconds long. The musical accompaniment for the jingle must consist of a blend of at least 5 of the following instruments: drums, percussions, piano, bass guitar, rhythm guitar, banjo, synthesizers, steel pan, fife, African drums, kettle drums, strings, lead vocals, and backup vocals that are well balanced and blended into a professional or semi-professional final product. The vocals of the singer or singers should be clear and easily audible. The Nevis Culturama Committee members, employees in the Culturama Secretariat, the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation, and their immediate family members are not eligible to enter. Submission guidelines. Each entry must include the completed entry form, the uploaded audio file of the jingle in MP3 format, no longer than 60 seconds. Typed lyric sheet with an entrant name at the top. Proof of the nationality of the producer. And the following information must accompany the jingle. 1, name of the performer or performers. 2, name of the producer. 3, the genre of song. 4, the date of submission. Jingles must be emailed to jinglecompetition@culturamanevis.com. All submissions must be received via email by Friday, March the 29th at 8 p.m. to be eligible for entry into the C50 Jingle competition. General. By entering the C50 Jingle competition, participants fully acknowledge and accept that all decisions are final and binding. Participants also agree to comply with and be bound by all the terms and conditions outlined in the official rules and regulations. The winner must be readily available and fully committed to fulfilling all obligations and responsibilities they may be required as a C50 Jingle competition winner. The Nevis Culturama Committee holds the exclusive rights to use the winning jingle across local, regional, and international platforms to vigorously promote the 50th anniversary of Nevis Culturama Festival and Homecoming celebration. Prizes and incentives, and I think this is what most people who want to enter the competition will be listening to hear. The winning prize for the song competition is 5,000 EC dollars. Let me repeat, the winning prize for the jingle competition is 5,000 EC dollars. The song competition winner will be rewarded with an exclusive opportunity to have the winning song professionally mixed and mastered post-production by a renowned music producer. Adjudication. The songs entered into the C50 Jingle competition will be judged by Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. The judging criteria will focus on musicality, lyrics, composition, vocals, originality, production quality, and promotional appeal. A panel of qualified judges with music, songwriting, and production expertise will adjudicate all entries submitted to the C50 Jingle competition. There shall only be one declared winner in the C50 Jingle competition. Announcement of the winner. The winner of the C50 Jingle competition will be announced in the local print and or electronic media and on all social media platforms of the Nevis Island Administration and the Nevis Culturama Committee on Friday, April the 12th, 2024. And so that in a nutshell gives us an idea of what the jingle competition is about, what it entails, the rules, and who are eligible. And so all of you who are creative in writing, and those of you who are good with vocals, you can start putting your ideas together to enter and to win that coveted $5,000. That's one of my announcements. The second announcement, of course, we know, we've been saying all along that this is a homecoming and this is a 50th anniversary. And we've been saying all along as well that we expect a lot of persons on the island of Nevis, and a lot is maybe an understatement. And the next announcement I will make is a press release regarding a partnership that we have forged with some persons or an organization in the United Kingdom. And that organization is called Fun in the Sun. The Nevis Culturama Committee is happy to announce Fun in the Sun Travel as the official UK travel agent for the highly anticipated Culturama 50, scheduled for July to August 2024. Ms. Jackie Walker, CEO and founder of Fun in the Sun, expressed her excitement for the partnership, reflecting on her successful involvement in organizing the Culturama 40 trip a decade ago along with Mr. Chris Collins. I am delighted for the opportunity. 10 years ago, we successfully brought 137 individuals as part of our pilot program, and we have continued organizing group trips, including the St. Kitts Music Festival and the 40th anniversary of independence. Adding to the excitement, Mrs. Jennifer Rouse Burgundy, chair of the Leeward Islands People's Association, LEPA, in Manchester, UK, will play a pivotal role in the Culturama 50 festivities. She will contribute her expertise to enhance the event, ensuring an unforgettable experience for the visitors. Mrs. Burgundy enthusiastically shared, "We are excited to announce plans for a troupe from the United Kingdom to participate in the Culturama 50 celebrations. This edition will not only infuse an international flair into the festivities, but also strengthen the cultural exchange between Nevis and the United Kingdom. UK residents interested in participating in the Culturama 50 festivities are encouraged to reach out to Fun in the Sun Travel via the following channels. Phone 011-3833-0875 or mobile 074-64-105-061. You can email info@funinthesun.co.uk, and fun is PHUN. Website www.funinthesun.co.uk. And you can also reach them on their social media platforms, Facebook or Instagram. And so the excitement is not only here on the island of Nevis, but the excitement is also in the UK, in as much that they have organized to bring persons home to Nevis. Nevis may not be home to some, but they're bringing persons here, and they're bringing a troop as well to be part of our parade of troops for Culturama 50. Now, the next announcement that I will make, there has been a press release that has already been out there, but I think it is important for some persons who may be listening to the press conference who may not be aware of this initiative. It is important, since this is a Culturama press conference, and this initiative is directly related to Culturama, that this be announced as well here at the C50 press conference. And this initiative is called the Culturama 50 Island Enhancement Incentive Program. The Nevis Island Administration, NIA, will be implementing a tax incentive package geared towards the rejuvenation of communities and businesses as part of the homecoming celebrations for Culturama 50. This initiative is intended to assist with the beautification of the island and aid in the rejuvenation to private homes, commercial buildings, residential buildings, community buildings, and such as churches and other facilities. This package will run for the period, listen very carefully, February 1st to August 31st, 2024, with the main areas of focus as follows: painting of properties, erecting of fencing, construction of driveways or walkways, changing of windows, doors, and other physical aesthetics on the external of the property, replacing of furniture and equipment for guest houses and apartments to enhance the accommodation for visitors. Concessions to be granted: exemption from import duties and customs service charge on all items falling into the category above. However, the 17% VAT will be payable. The applicants must submit a completed application form, which will be available at the Ministry of Finance. If they need approval from the building board, they also need to apply to the building board for approval as well. Contractors' estimates of the cost of the project or bill of quantities must be submitted to finance, and there has to be accompanied with the application valid government identification card. If you're a business, a valid business license for commercial entities with up-to-date payment of taxes. So what this is simply saying, and the permanent secretary in finance, Mr. Doe, is here to elaborate on this. If you're a business and you want to do anything, you must be up to date with your taxes. And of course, we as a government, we as an administration, only yesterday, we would have discussed this in cabinet, and we are committed to enhancing our buildings, all government buildings in Charlestown. We are committed to ensuring that Charlestown look as festive as possible, as welcoming as possible to all our returning nationals and visitors. And of course, we've been saying all along that we were expecting, I have been saying all along, that because of the numbers that we're expecting to come home or visit Nevis for Culturama 50, that Nevis may sink a couple inches. But before we get to that, we have to ensure that persons who are coming to the island of Nevis for Culturama 50, that they can be accommodated on the island. And I'm already hearing from persons living overseas that entire families will be coming home. We are hearing that a group from the UK will be coming with a troop. And I spoke to a relative of mine in New York only recently, and he was indicating he believed that all Nevisians in New York will be coming home. And of course, we know how many persons we have living in the diaspora. And so some persons will be scrambling for accommodation. But the Ministry of Tourism and the Nevis Tourism Authority, they are collaborating on a specific initiative called a Culturama 50 Homestay program. Because we are foreseeing, with the numbers that are expected on Nevis, that the hotels, the guest houses, the apartments, and the villas may not be enough to accommodate all who we expect. And we want to ensure that once people want to come, they can be accommodated on the island. And so, a little later on, the permanent secretary from the Ministry of Tourism will come and speak more to the Culturama 50 Homestay program. But I want to take this opportunity, now that I'm here at the podium, to officially launch the Culturama 50 Homestay program. And my final big announcement at this press conference, it's regards to the Miss Culture Queen pageant. And over the years, we've had problems, numerous problems in attracting contestants for Miss Culture. But I can tell you, in January, we already have a full complement of 6 Miss Culture Queen pageant contestants. Last year, you can applaud for that, yes? Last year, we had issues attracting contestants. Many of them were saying they want to wait for the 50th anniversary because many contestants are aware that for a milestone like the 50th anniversary, there will be some additional, and not only additional, but attractive prizes. And I'm here to announce one of the attractive prizes for the winner of the Miss Culture Queen pageant for C50. And I'm sure that the contestants are already listening with bated breath. This, what I will announce, will be only one of the major prizes. We have more to come. President of Monroe College, Mark Jerome, has confirmed in an email to Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley the agreement to help the Nevis Island Administration increase educational opportunities for Nevisians by providing 1 full scholarship to be awarded to the Miss Culture Queen pageant winner for 2024. This funding covers all tuition and fees to study in New York and will stay with the awardee for the 8 semesters required to earn a bachelor's degree, provided she stay in good academic standing. The awardee may choose to study on our St. Lucia campus or wholly online, if that's her preference. The awardee will need to meet our eligibility requirements for admission, of course. Rest assured, our international admission team will assist or assign an advisor to help the awardee through the application and the student visa processes. Given the tight timing between the crowning of Miss Culture Queen and the start of the fall semester, it is advised that the awardee begin her studies during the winter semester that starts in early January. A scholarship certificate will be created to be presented to the awardee on the night she is crowned. Mr. Jerome said they are very excited by this opportunity and looks forward to welcoming our first Miss Culture Queen on campus. And I must say here as well that Mr. Jerome has said that once his schedule allows, he will be here in person to make the presentation once his schedule allows. The scholarship does not include the cost of on-campus housing. Housing costs $4,000 per semester on average. The NIA is also seeking a willing supporting sponsor should these costs be incurred. So what we are saying is that Monroe will provide a full scholarship. Housing cost is normally $4,000 per semester. And I know that a lot of sponsors will be coming on board for C50. And one of those sponsors could actually be sponsoring the cost of housing for Miss Culture 2024. So I am now making that pitch. About Monroe College. Named for U.S. President James Monroe, the Monroe School of Business opened in 1933 and has completed 90 years of operations. In 1998, Monroe Online was at the forefront of internet learning, bringing the school's resources to people across the country and around the world, with 20 degree programs now fully online. The college has 3 campuses, the Bronx and New Rochester in New York, and a campus on the Caribbean island of St. Lucia. And before I finish this little discourse about the scholarship and Monroe, I must at this point pay homage on behalf of the Nevis Island Administration and publicly thank Enivision, Mr. Shervin Green, who is originally from Craddock Road, for making the contact and for ensuring that we get this scholarship organized for Miss Culture 2024. So we want to especially thank Mr. Shervin Green and the president of Monroe, Mr. Mark Jerome, for this very timely gift, and I know it will be a very welcome gift for the new Miss Culture 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, that takes care of my announcements. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to an exciting 2024 C50 Festival. Thank you.
Celebrating culture, embracing our history. It's Culturama 50, July 25th to August 6th. It's the Caribbean's greatest summer line. See you there.
Wow. Another round of applause for Honorable Eric Evelyn. That is a lot. 5 big announcements. Just to give a quick recap. 1, C50 Jingle. The prize would be 5,000 EC dollars, and the competition will run up until April 10th, and the winner will be announced on the 12th of April. The second announcement was a partnership with Fun in the Sun Travel Additionally, they will be in Nevis and they will come with a troupe for Culturama 50. So the persons living in the UK, if you're interested to come to Culturama 50, reach out to Fun in the Sun. Culturama 50 will be even bigger and greater this year. 3, C50 Island Enhancement Program, and that will run from February 1st all the way until August 2024. Application forms are to be collected from the Ministry of Finance and submitted back to the same ministry. 4, C50 Homestay Program, and that will be elaborated on by Permanent Secretary Mr. John Hanley. And 5, Miss Culture Queen Pageant, the winner to receive a scholarship at Monroe College that will cover the academic side of it. Again, we're making the pitch to the oncoming sponsors to assist with the housing aspect of it. Big news. Wow. Okay, so we would like to now bring to the podium the Permanent Secretary of Tourism, Mr. John Hanley, to give an overview on the Homestay program. Round of applause for John Hanley.
As was announced, it is my responsibility to take you through the Nevis Homestay program. As you are aware, in St. Kitts and Nevis, tourism is a major contributor to our economic sector. As we prepare for the 50th anniversary of Culturama, the Ministry of Tourism, the Nevis Tourism Authority, and the Culturama Secretariat are collaborating to expand the accommodation sector through a homestay program. This is in response to the high demand of requests to book accommodations by visitors and returning nationals during the Culturama 50 period. So in terms of the objectives of this program, the C50 Homestay program, the overall goal is that this product represents the aim of achieving sustainable tourism development and also attaining growth in community-based tourism. The goal of this product is for tourists to interactively engage in aspects of our local culture, such as our local cuisine, festivals, and the traditions that will be showcased at Culturama. And the broad aims are to provide alternative and affordable accommodations to visitors. As the minister said, we're expecting so many people that the island might sink a few inches. Yes, so we want to make sure that our accommodation is affordable and that we have sufficient. We also want to offer an enriching and authentic Nevision experience that will bring economic benefit to the locals, also to assist in attaining sustainable tourism and the promotion of tourism within rural communities. And our final aim is to spread tourism spending and boost economic development overall. So we have 3 categories for the Nevis Homestay program. The first category is the true Nevision experience, where persons will get the opportunity to rent a room in a real Nevision home, and they will be in a shared space with a real Nevision family. The second category is our apartments and guest houses, whereas our next category would be luxury Nevision homes and villas. Now, there are some minimum requirements for our homeowners. And we have gone out of our way to make sure that these requirements are as simple as possible, because, of course, we want as many persons as possible to participate in the program. So we have a very basic, a very simple application form that we will ask them to complete. We are going to ask them to present 1 national photo ID, such as your passport, for example, a picture of the apartment or the villa or the duplex or the house to be rented, a description of the location of the premises, a copy of the house rules, a signed assurance of restriction of animals on property, because even though people love their dogs, we want to make sure that our guests are safe. And we also want to have emergency contact details. Now, Nevis is known to have a very high quality or very high standard in terms of accommodation. And we want to make sure, although we want to make sure that it is very simple, we also want to make sure that we do not compromise our very high standards that we are known all over the region and internationally for. So persons who are participating in the program, these are the basic amenities or the basic standards that we expect them to have. They must be able to provide private furnished bedrooms with secure windows and doors, fresh laundered bed linen on each bed and at least 2 pillows per bed, at least 1 bath towel and 1 face towel per guest, access to a shared or private bathroom, access to a fully furnished shared or private kitchen, and we need a wardrobe or some sort of storage space for clothes, access to laundry facilities, or simply a washroom with a clothes and line. Of course, we have to have a garbage bin and bags. And in this wireless age, this age of wireless connection, the participant must have wireless internet access. Of course, our visitors will be bringing their devices, so there would need to be power sockets in the room. Some persons have 110 power, some persons have 220, whatever power source you have, but once there are power sockets in the room, that is very important. The rooms must be well lit, and there must be access to a clothes iron and ironing board, and of course the room must be ventilated, so there needs to be either a fan or air conditioning. The inspection process is very simple, the inspection and certification process. So one is required to submit the basic documents and information, and once those are submitted to the Nevis Tourism Authority, a date will be agreed upon between the inspection team and the homeowner for inspection, and there will be a list of mandatory requirements provided to the homeowner. We are doing it this way so that we don't have too much back and forth. Once the person has signed up, we make sure that they know exactly what is expected so that they're already prepared when the inspection team comes. The inspection team will comprise persons from the Culturama Secretariat, the Nevis Tourism Authority, and the Ministry of Tourism. If the property passes inspection, then a certificate will be issued and also an information packet. And also the property will be listed on the NTA website. If there's a shortcoming, then the areas for improvement will be discussed and a subsequent date for inspection will be set out. Now, I mentioned a while ago the Nevis Homestay information packet. What does that contain? And let me point out, this packet will be a digital packet. It will contain a welcome letter, a map of Nevis, a copy of the taxi rate fares, a copy of the ferry schedules, a list of restaurants or dining options, Culturama 50 calendar of events, QR codes pointing to the C50 and Nevis tourism links, our websites and social media platforms, and a copy of the homestay rules and the guidelines. What are visitors required to bring? They're required to complete an application form, and as I said earlier, we are trying to keep it as simple as possible. So a very basic, very simple application form. They must provide their passport, and they must also provide their contact details. Visitors will also be required to sign a simple agreement with the homeowner that would include the terms and conditions, the costs, the duration of the stay, and other necessary inclusions. I said earlier that part of the homestay experience is to make sure that persons immerse themselves in our culture. And we will be presenting food or dining options. The first option is that the guests may arrange with the host to provide meals at an agreed cost at the homestay property. Secondly, the Nevis Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism will provide a list of restaurants and authentic division culinary experiences where patrons can support local business owners. It is very important for persons who are coming to support the local enterprises. And that's a very important part of this experience that we're putting forward. And thirdly, our guests will be encouraged to participate in culinary experiences which will take place around the general time of Culturama, preceding, during, etc., such as the Nevis Mango Festival. And as we should be aware by now, this year we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Nevis Mango Festival. And we also will be celebrating Restaurant Week. Restaurant Week usually takes place around the middle of July, between the 2nd and 3rd week. The date has not been finalized as yet, but as soon as the date has been finalized, we will publish that so that persons will have these options at their disposal. So looking forward, it is anticipated that the Nevis Homestay program, while launched specifically for Culturama 50, will become a regular feature of our product offering. And we expect that the program will be expanded over time to include additional offerings, probably some surprise announcements, you never know, and incentives, and these will be revealed at the appropriate time. I want to thank you for your kind attention.
Wow, again, another round of applause for Permanent Secretary, Mr. John Hanley. Okay, just to recap, so we are launching the Homestay program, C50, and there will be 3 categories. One, the true Nivision experience, where you'll be able to actually come and stay with a Nivision family. 2, you could rent an apartment or a full home. And 3, luxury villas, etc. So we're inviting everyone to come to Nevis for Culturama 50. We would now like to call the Permanent Secretary of Finance, Mr. Colin Doerr, to give an overview of the Home Improvement Program. Round of applause for Mr. Colin Doerr.
Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, and pleasant good morning to all. Minister Evelyn elaborated on the program, and so I'll have just some brief comment in terms of the procedure. Now, this program is really meant to enhance the homestay program which Mr. Hanley mentioned earlier, because in order to meet the requirements as listed by the Ministry of Tourism and Mr. Hanley, there are a number of physical improvements that may need to be done to your property. And so this program is meant to complement it. It's a short-term program. There's a very short window of February 1st to July 31st, but we would expect that all of the improvements will be completed long before that, because we expect arrivals to start as early as when? As tomorrow. So I mean, it's a very short window, and it's really meant to be cosmetic changes and not major physical construction. So the program is designed to cover things like painting of your building, repainting, giving it a new facelift, fencing of your property, or changing your fencing, sprucing it up, improvement to your driveways, walkways, and so on, replacement of windows and doors, and then of course for the established restaurant and guest houses, provision is made for replacement of furniture, which is part of our regular program, so that you can meet the requirements of the Ministry of Tourism when they come to do the inspection. The procedure is simple. Application form is available at the Ministry of Finance, and they're already available, so those persons who want to be part of the program, you can come and collect the form as early as next week, which is the start of the month. You submit the application form detailing the scope of the work you intend to do. For something that may need building board approval, you obviously have to get the approval from the building board or the Department of Physical Planning in order to execute those minor physical works such as construction of fencing and so on. Once you submit those along with the estimate of the work to be done, the Ministry of Finance will review your application and issue your approval letter, which you can then take to TDC or Hotspur to acquire materials. Now, this program also applies to material imported. So if you're importing material, it is usable as well. That letter will be submitted to the Department of Customs when you're importing the items into Nevis. So it's both for items purchased locally and items imported. Now it's important to note that those persons in category 1 of the homestay program, we are only providing building materials to help you spruce up and furnish, not equipment. So those who are inviting persons into their private homes, of course you have to get your home in a state of readiness, especially if you have an extra 2-room that you want to fix up. We are only providing the building materials, the paint and all the other things to get that room in a state of readiness, not furniture. Furniture and equipment only applies to the established the established guest houses and apartments. It's important that we note that. And no, we are not contributing to the labor as well, only the material costs. Now, the concession that is awarded, you'll be exempted from the customs duty, customs service charge, but you'll be required to pay the value-added tax VAT on all materials purchased locally or imported. So it's part of our effort to give the island a facelift, improve the construction sector, and at the same time give you and our visitors a level of comfort of coming to Nevis, because you'll recognize some of these persons are coming back for the first time, maybe 50 years after. And so it's important for them to see Nevis in a different light than when they left it 10, 15 years ago. And so we are happy at the Ministry of Finance to partner with Culturama 50 and also the Ministry of Tourism to support the programs to make Culturama 50 a success. Thank you.
Can I get a wow? Good job. So just to recap, so this program is to complement the homestay. So to all Nevisians, persons living here, if you want to spruce up your home, improve certain aspects of your business, go to the Ministry of Finance next week, get the form, and you could begin. So we could welcome home all the persons for Culturama 50, visitors, returning nationals, and they're going to see Nevis in the best light possible. So that's some very good news there today as well. We will now have the man himself, the head of Culturama, Mr. Antonio Abonati Liebert. Round of applause.
I want to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Minister of Culture, Eric Rohan Evelyn. I always like to give him his middle name. And so, today, January 25th, marks exactly 6 months from the start of Culturama 50. It begins on July the 25th and goes right down until August the 6th. And so, this press briefing was strategically planned to coincide with today's date, when we can come to the press and the public and share some valuable information with you. I hope thus far we have whet your appetites and we leave you wanting more on this journey dubbed On the Road to Culturama 50 experience. I promise you that it will be an exciting experience. The journey has started today. So follow me to Nevis Culturama 50. Now, the Culturama 50 winning slogan was announced on October the 24th, 2023. Prospect resident Carmel Allen penned the winning slogan, celebrating culture, embracing history. It's Culturama 50. And this slogan was chosen from 292 entries. And I'm happy to announce that Miss Allen is a former Miss Culture Queen, having won the competition or the title in 1980. The minister already told you that we have a full slate of candidates for the Miss Culture Queen pageant. And so, yes, we have confirmed 6 Miss Culture Queen pageants, 6 Miss Culture swimwear contestants for the Culturama 50 senior pageants. We are, however, still accepting applications for 2 additional Mr. Cool participants to complete our slate of Mr. Cool participants for Culturama 50. So, Stephen, if you're, we will adjust the age, Stephen, and Bonnie would be your sponsor. Other registrations remain open for the other competitions, which are junior and senior Kaiso, Soca Monarch, Mr. and Miss Talented Youth Pageant, Road March, and the Panorama Contest. So I'm encouraging all who are interested in these remaining competitions to go online on our website, www.Culturama Nevis has been revamped. You can go online and download the application forms, or you can visit the relocated Culturama Secretariat, which is located in the Philip St. John building in Ramsbury, right next to the Maud Cross Preparatory School. Now, you have recognized that vending in Charlestown over the years has been very challenging, especially for road users. And so this year, for Culturama 50, because we are expecting a lot of traffic, foot and vehicular traffic to Charlestown, we will be endeavoring to reorganize the vending operations in Charlestown, where we'll be assigning vending spots to our vendors. Let me rephrase, to our registered vendors, because we recognize that a number of vendors come and vend without registering. And so we'll be policing that. But with all of the persons that are expected to be on Nevis, you would recognize that we have to have an organized vending system in Charlestown that would reduce any incidents of pedestrians or vehicles traveling through the streets of Charlestown, especially on those crowded days. Monday, Culturama Monday, and the Culturama Tuesday. So we'll be looking to reorganize, revamping the vending in Charlestown. We are also looking to spruce up our cultural complex and cultural village, which we hope, or we are aiming to improve the overall experience for our patrons at both venues. And this sprucing up will begin shortly, as early as next month. And so you can expect to come in a better environment, an improved environment for Culturama 50. Now, the first wave of the activities for Culturama 50 will be unveiled today. And so the events that we will be unveiling are not the final calendar for Culturama 50. Notice I said the first wave. And so what you'll be seeing today would be the first set of activities. It would not include the fringe activities. And the fringe activities are those activities that private promoters are organizing. And so those activities would be added sometime later, and we are actually targeting February the 25th to release our second wave of activities for Culturama 50. And this second wave would include the fringe activities. Later, we will have a third wave, which would include our Calypso tents, our Action Corner events, and other promotional events that are planned for the On the Road to Culturama 50 experience. And so I want to now highlight some of the activities, not all, that we will have for Culturama 50. And so we have the launch of the festival on April the 12th. the launch of the festival on April the 12th. I'm sure that we have never had a launch of the festival this early. It would be an in-person launch, an outdoor launch, and at that launch we will have the reveal of the Culturama 50 pageant contestants. And that is going to be at the Charlestown waterfront. We have changed the venue over the years, but this year for Culturama 50, we took a decision to move the launch of the festival and the reveal of the contestants back to the Charlestown waterfront. Another important aspect of event that we have brought back to the calendar, this year we'll be having a fashion show, because over the years we have been accustomed to featuring our contestants at fashion shows, and that went dormant for some time, and so we will be bringing back the fashion shows. We are partnering with 1 or 2 fashion houses, and that experience would be brought back for Culturama 50. Now, the minister and the premier, when he speaks, they have referred, or they often refer to Culturama 50 as a homecoming experience. And so, on Wednesday, July the 31st, that day will be dubbed, or has been dubbed, as Homecoming Day, where we are expecting that all of the returning nationals, we will create an experience for them, an experience that they have not probably had for years. And so we are going over to the Nivision Heritage Village, and we are partnering with the Ministry of Tourism, because they are the ones that are responsible for that facility. And so you would have the persons attending that event would have a true Nivision experience. Mr. Hanley and his team would be there baking bread in the stone oven. You could get bread, hot bread and salt butter. You could get other Nivision delicacies at that homecoming day in Fothergills. Now, another thing that will be added to the calendar this year, and I jumped ahead of it, is the Culturama 50 Golden Jubilee Award ceremony. Now, after 50 years of celebrating Culturama, we have some persons that we should, or we must, this is imperative, that we award them for their contributions towards the preservation and the development of culture and Culturama on Nevis. And so we will be selecting some individuals, and we will be awarding them for their contribution towards 50 years of Culturama here on Nevis. And so that Culturama 50 Golden Jubilee Award ceremony would be on Friday, July the 26th, and it will be right here at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park Conference Center. The conference, exactly where we are right now. Now, for a very long time, persons have been asking that we separate the Junior Cultural Street Parade from the Senior Cultural Street Parade, like it was many, many years ago. And so a decision was taken this year to have the Junior Cultural Street Parade on Thursday, August the 1st in Charlestown. I know that my minister don't like me to put him on a spot, and I hope that he does not pull out his broad strap for me. But Mr. Minister, for Culturama 25, that day was designated a half holiday in Nevis. take that to your cabinet for us, please. It will be good to have that day designated a public half holiday so that our children, our children participating in the Junior Cultural Street Parade can have lots of fun in the sun in Charlestown. Finally, in highlighting the calendar, this year we have decided to stage an international concert dubbed Culturama 50 Emancipation Concert. Because the Culturama, the time when it is celebrated is done around the Emancipation Day weekend. And so we have met and we have discussed it. And so we'll be reintroducing the International Night. This year will be dubbed as the Culturama 50 Emancipation Concert. And I can guarantee you that the person charged with this activity, based on recommendations from a small group of individuals who are meeting to look at enhancing the Culturama, that there's going to be some major or mega acts for this international concert. And so I would want to invite the media, patrons to stay tuned. And as we have many more updates on events that we staged for Culturama, many more updates on things that we will be rolling out for Culturama C50. And so I would want to thank you for your presence here this morning. And I would want to recognize our sponsors from Carib. Also want to recognize our major sponsors, Bunny. Thanks for coming on board. And I hope, Carib, that your presence here today is demonstrative that we'll be getting 50,000 plus in cash for Culturama 50. I thank you.
I think we all know the word we should say now. Oh, yes, I like that. Okay, just to recap, so of course we're going to have some sprucing up on the island, and I'm made to understand that. The Culturama complex, we're doing some renovations there. We are also going to reveal more waves are coming, I should say. More waves are coming. This is the first wave for Culturama 50. The second wave will be the 25th of February, and the third wave will be announced at a later date. Just to give some insight, we have now added a fashion show back to the core lineup for Culturama 50. We also will be revealing the contestants in April at the waterfront. Additionally, there's a homecoming day for Culturama 50 and an international concert for Culturama 50. So that's some very good news for C50. We will now like to reveal the video for Culturama 50.
Celebrating culture, embracing our history. It's Culturama 50, July 25th to August 6th. It's the Caribbean's greatest summer line. See you there.
All right, round of applause. Just want to take the time out to thank the marketing team for Culturama. They're always doing a very impressive job. So I really enjoyed that video. We will now have questions from persons who are in attendance, from the media houses, etc. I guess we're crystal clear on everything. Okay. Given that we have no questions, I guess you could meet Abonati after and ask him what you have to ask him. In either case, I would like to invite to the podium Carice Elliott for the vote of thanks.
I wish to observe the protocol so ably established by the previous speakers. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Eric Evelyn, Minister of Culture, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Mr. Huey Sargent, the Chair of the Nevis Culturama Committee, Mr. Antonio Abonati-Liburn, and the hard-working members of the Nevis Culturama Committee for ensuring the press conference for Culturama 50 was executed so effortlessly as seen here today. Your dedication behind the scenes and your presence and enthusiasm has truly made this event a resounding success. Don't you agree? I express appreciation also to the Nevis Tourism Authority Board of Directors, the CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority, Mr. Devon Liburn, Director of Sales and Marketing at the Nevis Tourism Authority, and our wonderful Master of Ceremonies for today, Mr. Wow, Fionn Jones. Your contributions have greatly enriched the overall quality of the event. Thank you also to the hardworking staff at the Ministry of Tourism, the Product Development Manager, Ms. Vanessa Webb, for leading us in a word of prayer, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Mr. John Hanley, for the knowledge and ensuring that relevant information be disseminated regarding the Homestay program. I have no doubt that from his explanation, coupled with the prayer by Ms. Webb, the applications for the Homestay program are coming in by the dozen as we speak. I would also like to acknowledge the hard work and the commitment of the media houses as their meticulous planning and their tireless efforts have been instrumental in bringing this event to fruition as persons near and far are able to witness this event. To the sponsors and partners, we extend our deepest appreciation for your generous support as your contributions have played a crucial role in making this event possible and ensuring its success. Last but not least, thank you to the attendees present today. Your participation, as I anticipated, questions would have been there. So I'm thanking you guys for afterwards. So your participation, your thoughtful questions, and the positive energy experienced here today has created a vibrant and collaborative atmosphere and synergy throughout the event and have fueled a momentum we wish to preserve for Culturama 50. And thank you as well to the Permanent Secretary of Finance, Mr. Colin Dorr, for the enriching details that he outlined pertaining to the program. Thank you once again for being a part of this memorable morning, and your presence has truly made a difference. Thank you, everyone.
Celebrating culture, embracing our history. It's Culturama 50, July 25th to August 6th. It's the Caribbean's greatest summer line. See you there.